our following series. So today, as usual, 3 matches were planned, but unfortunately, it sounds like our second series of Sync versus Wapdash is going to have to be rescheduled, I guess, due to the lack of players being able to make it. So there will be no second series, so we will just be going on a break here on stream. They'll turn the stream off, actually, but we will be coming back later on for Evil Corp versus Reason. So only going to be a couple of series today in the end, but still should be some good hunt nonetheless. But yeah, that'll be rescheduled until when? Don't know for now. But anyways, we got this game now. Okay, so we got Magnus into Parasite Warbeast into Aluna. Aluna worked out pretty well for Druid's last game, as we were pointing out. Midas, Salamon, Lord Salforce, and Tundra were the bans, by the way. See, Salamon even banned by Pexu, so.
Yep, they're now dealing with no double ulti, double sheepstick this time.
No.
Oh, baby!
The
I'm excited.
Get those mines.
Better.
Only going to be excited if there's mines, though, yeah.
That's true.
If no mines, then not really.
Then we flame.
Yeah, no, we will be.
We flame all game.
Hopefully, whoever plays it comes through.
Yep. So Druids is going a very similar route to game number 1, picking up both the Parasite and the Aluna, as they did last game. Reason Gaming does snatch the Magnus from them, so they won't have that initiator this time around. But we do see the Warbeast gets picked up, and as you pointed out, the Engineer. So a lot of team fight presence, and then the Warbeast from Reason's side.
Yeah, it could still go that Behemoth if they want an initiator. I mentioned he did get some nerfs, but still figure going to be perhaps a strong hero. I guess I'm going to be curious to see if that sticks or not. I mean, it just seems like a skill set is still really too good to pass up in a lot of ways, but we did see him banned last game with the second set of bans. Prisoner being right-clicked, that could be another one.
Yeah, that could be quite good against the Magnus dual mid. They do go with the Meraxis instead. Very similar. It's a very tanky initiator. Yeah, I'd be interested to see if they do run that as in a dual lane. If they do choose to put that middle with the Aluna, I would suggest Prisoner would have been a better option, but Meraxis is very similar in that regard. Let's have that good initiation as well as being very tanky against that NG Magnus combination.
Yeah. Got that going here. We got the bans to follow now. Malakin, mentioned. Lodestone, Magebane. So, Cthulhu Font.
Oh, the respect Cthulhu Font. I love it.
Yeah, I think Pexu, taking out some heroes.
Doesn't want to deal. He wants to go puzzle box this game. He's making that a point.
Yeah. Let's be able to pick it up here. So.
Yeah, puzzle box is very good this game as well against both the Magnus and the Engineer. Can bring down the energy field for his team. Very good at dealing with the Magnus. Mana burn and the reveal for if he does go into the steam bath. It was very good this game, so he wants to make that a point. And they get rid of the Oogie and the Puppet Master, so a couple more carry options get taken down.
I see some Kraken here from Reason. Labyrinth.
Yeah, Labyrinth's signature hero.
Yeah.
Most notably.
Sure, he'll end up with it, and in that middle lane most likely. So now, is that Meraxis going to be that middle, or will he be perhaps a suicide? Meraxis here. There's potential for both.
Yeah. And as of right now, there's not the most spells he can block with his Arcane Shield. He can block the Torrent, which he can definitely time as that's coming at him. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of single target spells that he can use to absorb. They do go with the Rally. We have been seeing that a lot lately. And Druids does like to run that as well. I think both Max and Not the Best play Rally, so it's a little bit of a comfort here as well for their team. We're seeing Rally come back. It's very good against the Kraken, so I want to say that was a response pick as well. Being able to compel teammates out of release the Kraken is a very good tool. And we do see they rounded off with a Dr. Pulsar. Pretty good carry option, seeing as how they have the War Beast as well as a backup carry, so they don't need that hard carry. They have a very aggressive makeup with their team. I really like Reason's draft. Very well rounded. Much better draft than their game #1 draft, which was a very greedy lineup.
Oh yeah, definitely agree there. Okay, Scout. Yeah, that makes sense. Trying to think of a
That's
carry.
a very good response carry pick.
Yeah.
Very good against the Doctor and the War Beast. Silence for the Doctor as well as the disarm against the War Beast. So that is a very good response carry pick from Druids as well. Both drafts are very solid.
It's definitely trying to think a little unorthodox here. As I like to do, you know, try to be a little
What did you want to say? Berserker?
Well, I was thinking, no, it's not always Berserker, okay? I mean, yes, I would always love to see Berserker, but...
Immobilize against Doctor, it's so good.
It's so good. I was thinking more silence-oriented, and, you know, here's like in mind where something like a Blood Hunter or even like a Emerald Warden.
Blood Hunter is very good against both Doctor and War Beast as well. Very similar to a Scout. Doesn't have the carry, the flash farming presence that a Scout does once he picks up the Cleaver, but definitely has the... ability to be more active than the Scout, whereas Reason's lineup does scream that they want to be very active with their overall setup. So Blood Hunter could have potentially worked, however, it wouldn't have been that snowballing short lane like the Scout can provide.
Yeah. Oh, and he's running Scoutzo as well, so it's all complete.
Looks like we're going to have an aggressive jungling Parasite as well as a mana lane from Rally and a Luna.
Oh, yeah.
And this could put a lot of pressure on them because they are running that War Beast as their jungler, being played by Archie-Tegra as well as Doctor, which isn't the most aggressive laner before hitting that level 6 mark. So this Rally Luna, along with the aggressive jungling Parasite, could cause a lot of disruption. We even see Reason Gaming expecting this. They go ahead and they block their own hard camp before even seeing the man-up come out. So looks like they are expecting this. And a good read by them. This will force Parasite to only have the left hard camp to work with, so his ROM will be somewhat minimal. Perhaps even force him to go back to his own jungle. And at the moment, they are soloing their Doctor, so they probably will end up just sacrificing his farm and look to get Magnus that good start.
The question is, are they going to be able to maybe catch him here? I mean, yeah, Aluna's kind of being pretty safe, sitting pretty far back, but I don't think Doctor's going to allow for an opportunity. At least that's the idea, of course. You know, something else I'm picking up on, actually, is that Labyrinth is actually on Magnus. And another hero that he's not playing.
That is a good point. And either the thing is Time to Die doesn't play Magnus, or Labyrinth is just more comfortable playing mid. It's one of those two. They're choosing just to put the Kraken in the offlane and put Magnus mid. So it could either be a role thing or a player preference, not sure which.
Back to the bottom lane, they did actually put a bit of pressure on Doctor. Seems like they might have caught him a little bit, but you get him about 20% life. He ends up getting out of range and pops the health potion. So now Cyrox here has all that information, realizing that he is going up against a aggressive lane here, sure enough. Speaking of that, too, Parasite being somewhat boxed out here, it looks like. So Pexu, yet again, similar to last game, you know, comes into the aggressive jungle, tries to harass a little bit, gets boxed out, and eventually back to his own jungle here. So Pexu will have to make do.
Yeah, what a lot of teams, I think, do as a mistake is if you really want your Parasite to stay down here, then you need to have a Rev Ward either on the support or on the Parasite to guarantee yourself that you get this right hard camp, because this is the camp that you can use to put pressure. In middle lane, Meraxis is in a lot of trouble. Can Engineer catch up to him? He might be able to hit him with the keg here if he... There it is.
You know, if he connected that last axe, I think that could have been a difference, because that was max range keg stun. If the axe hit, it was letting down maybe just enough, but good attempt right there. Coming up short, though. So nice Bloodlust, though, for Reason.
And look at how he's skilling.
Is it mines?
He has mines.
Okay, good. It's just so good. You never shouldn't.
Yeah.
So I'm glad.
Get it level 2. Level 2.
All right, so he's gonna.
Ah, he goes through into keg. But actually, turret wouldn't have been that bad here because Meraxis is a hero that can't escape, so the slow from the turret could do a lot of work as well.
Yeah.
So both options are quite okay. The burst damage from the mines is really nice, so can't really say that one is so much better than the other, but definitely could argue that turret would be just fine here. Although I am a big fan of mines.
You don't say. You don't say. Well, yeah, you mentioned he gets the level 2 in the keg at least for now, but at least he got the 1 point into it, and we'll see him perhaps start placing some mine traps about. Looking to make some plays with that. Top lane, Kraken and Scout going at it. Kraken currently at a 13-1, Scout at a 19-2, so Ula here playing the Scout, definitely having the better time, as that early Iron Shield, of course. And I would say probably expected here, doing pretty well. I mean, granted, Kraken, especially with Battle Cry and a splash, pretty good. Middle lane, meanwhile, Moraxis, not enough damage there.
Warcry is level 1 as well, so that's going to give them a little bit of extra damage potential as well. And yeah, Scout actually chooses to go Fleet Feet, so that suggests to me that he wants to go Steam Boots, which isn't the most common on Scout, but seeing as how he is against a lot of lockdown and burst from the Magnus, eventually the Doctor and the Engineer, I guess he feels that he cannot be too greedy, go for those Ghost Marches, which are more popular.
Yeah.
So he's valuing those. He's eventually going to put that into Steam Boots. And Doctor is actually getting quite a lot of CS bottom, considering he was 2v1. He isn't farming that well, but considering the circumstances, is doing just fine. Is getting the levels as well.
Yeah, not doing too shabby.
But Druids does have the lane position now, so now this is where it could get scary for Doctor. He's going to have to kind of pull the lane back if he can, which he's going to look to do.
Doctor, of course, does have that capability of farming the jungle a little bit. We know jungle doctors exist, but at the same time, he's not necessarily built for it, especially when it comes to items, so it's not like he can just do it easily here. As you mentioned, though, he is going to pull the pole camp, sure enough, and try to get some of the position back.
And Parasite, as we mentioned, has rotated back into his own jungle, so he is starting to progress, now almost at 300 GPM, so this is just fine for Parasite. Warby is still a little bit behind, but he's going to pick up as well, just hitting level 5. I do want to point out his skill build, which I'm not a fan of. He only has 1 in the Hellhounds, and he's maxing out Battle Cry. And although it is good for his team to have the Battle Cry, it's really going to hurt his farm individually. Without having the maxed out Wolves, he's going to farm a lot slower, simply due to he's not going to always have that Battle Cry on. And it's going to be costing him a lot more mana to be using the Hellhounds on top of the Battle Cry, so he's going to constantly be needing to use mana pots, and it's just his farm is just going to be less than it could be.
Yeah.
In exchange for his teammates being able to have more lane presence.
Yeah, that is an interesting trade-off. It's definitely the less greedy is pointing out, but it's a matter of will it truly help the teammates enough in the end. Middle lane eruption. It does go off, actually, but you see Magnus, he really wanted to make sure to run away and survive right there. Now, he doesn't have haste and stun in 1 second. Oh, stun them both.
Perfect.
They lined up perfectly, and yet Moraxis cannot finish him as he jets on out of there. That was actually well played by Laugh.
Got another stun back up. They're going to go back in, I think.
Oh, yeah. That's...
And can Engineer get there in time?
Oh, my gosh. He didn't auto-attack. He had the kill, but he's so low. I mean, I can't blame him, but... Oh, man.
No, that was almost perfectly played by Magnus. The Engineer, unfortunately, got a little creep blocked. I think he did have boots as well, so just not able... Either the communication was there, or he just got blocked a little bit too much, couldn't get in range for the keg, or that was a guaranteed kill.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a nice heads-up 2-man Lava Surge initially. So that was really well done.
I think he was even a little surprised that his eruption went off, and I was too, frankly. I thought the face hug actually hit in time to prevent the eruption.
It was just short. It was really close, and that eruption going off definitely got them that 1 kill.
Yeah, and speaking of that too, it's actually really good that he didn't use that haste going into the fight, or else that would have been stolen, of course, by the face hug.
That's a good point.
That's good that he waited to use it till after that was activated, obviously. So. Yeah, definitely all across the board. Good play by Labyrinth there. Again, we know he plays a lot of Kraken, known for that signature hero, but Magnus is another one that plays pretty well. Showing why here, how here. Scout, he's progressed. You mentioned the Steam Boots already. Now has a Ring of the Teacher here, so getting a lot of build-up, really. A lot of stats and armor here early on. Probably figure that's going to turn into an Abyssal Skull, of course.
Yeah, and something to point out as well is he hasn't put any points into Electric Eye, so he's not worried about trying to make any ganks or try to kill the Kraken. It's all about his damage and constant use of the disarm onto Kraken, as well as maxing out Vanish so that he can have that spike damage. So
he does get it here.
Okay, he does get it now,
yeah.
but it is very late, so he did emphasize his laning phase very heavily, which I don't have a problem with since how he hasn't looked to net any kills yet.
Yeah, no, that's definitely fair. And Scouts, again, he really is kind of an interesting carry. We've seen many players play it now. He's become one of the more popular carries, and the difference in playstyle from player to player definitely is noticeable.
Doctor is smoke top. This is going to be a gank attempt onto Scout with Release the Kraken.
Parasite and Rally are also coming up here, though, so it's a matter of timing. There's the Infist of Scout, and here comes that support. Doctor obviously was not ready for this. The Rally Compel, well played by Maximilian. He lined that up so perfectly. The marksman shot didn't even matter right there. Still hilarious. Maximilian gets the double tap out of it. Well deserved. Middle lane, though, STST will go down as Magnus stunts him with the Eruption. Of course, Engineer that it supports. So some revenge at least. And they are going to get the middle tower, actually. So decent here overall.
Coming in.
Get it, though.
They're going to get it anyway.
Rally Compel. No. Just
out of range. So yeah, I think we're going to have action, but before anything happens, going back to that top gank attempt onto Scout, yeah.
Yeah, you're saying Moraxis, no chance. He goes down there pretty easily.
He is leveling mines now. He is at level 3. That mine did so much damage, by the way. But going back to the gank attempt onto Scout top, Dr. Repulsor only has 1 into his pull, so the lockdown is very minimal. So it was either miscommunication or they just didn't communicate that the pull is only level 1. Because what should have happened is Doctor goes in, uses the pull, and Kraken immediately uses Release the Kraken. And he actually chose to try to line up the charge into the trees so that he could set up the ultimate that way.
Okay.
But, you know, at this level of play, you have to communicate how long your lockdown is and how the spells need to coordinate. Because if they did choose to just drop the Release the Kraken on top of the Doctor pull initially, they could have potentially looked to at least get the kill onto Scout.
Yeah.
And we saw that they did both end up going down for this failed gank attempt, so at least being able to try to guarantee themselves that Scout kill would at least make it somewhat worth it.
Yeah. Making the best of that situation absolutely would have been nice, but
yeah.
Both going down for nothing, not the best of feelings. Middle lane, yeah, this is interesting, actually. There was a Wild Hunter here with Parasite, but obviously we have the Rev Ward down, and Legion team was able to see him the whole time. So, it's, I guess the Stealth Hunter even, not the Wild Hunter anymore. But point being, he was in Viz trying to sneak up on them for the gank. Obviously, they spotted it, though. And good heads up on their part. Portal Key has been picked up by Rally now. He's setting up bottom, but... Okay, top lane. Doctor's going in, but nice silence, and he runs away. Not much he could do there.
Yeah, so I want to go back to the whole how Warbeast is skilling. So now he has the fully maxed out battle cry, and he's starting to level out the wolves. It is 11 minutes into the game, and he's only level 8. Around this time, as a Warbeast, you'd want to be at least 300, if not around the 350, closing in on 400 gold per minute mark. He doesn't have any deaths, so he's just been farming throughout the entire game. So it really goes back to how he's chosen to skill. It really does set back his progression. You know, he's only at 260, which is very low for at about 12 minutes in.
Yeah.
And he should have at least fully upgraded Steam Boots working towards his next item. And at this point, we're only seeing him sitting on Red Boots with 500 gold. And he's going to go down here to the combo of both Parasite and Rally. So, you know, that's going to set him back even more. Now Magnus comes in with the Eruption.
Nice catch right there from the Legion team, at least. Get some immediate revenge, but you see Parasite, he does get the Luminous Prism right before, and So is working towards that puzzle box, of course. Mentioned Pixie looking to get that this game. So, yeah, the struggles, though, for Warbeast, unfortunately, kind of continuing for the time being. So for Archie Tiger and Reason Gaming's sake, that can somehow recover that, as you mentioned, is leveling up the Wolves now, but going to be a little bit more time for that significant here.
And the reason why it's such a big deal that Warbeast isn't doing well when he should be is because Doctor isn't doing well because of how the lanes were set up. So there has to be that trade-off of where we're sacrificing our Doctor, but what are we getting in return?
There's a big fight over here. Kraken, release Kraken was used. He actually goes down, though, in the end. It's well played by the Hellborn side engineer. The energy field is not going to matter. He, too, will fall. Magnus, can he escape out of this? He's going to be good for now, but that power throw? No, not enough. Nice lava surge at the last second. And he'll Portakey out of there. So it ends up only being 2 casualties, but it's still 2 kills in favor of Druids, obviously. And their leads are starting to grow by a little bit now. 2,600 gold lead, 3,500 experience lead. As they're also going to stay grouped up and push this bottom, or middle tower, excuse me, here on top of that. All the meanwhile, Scout is farming very well here at the top lane. He hasn't even necessarily gone his big farming tool yet, of course. As he has Sustainer now.
So you have both Scout and Rally who have been doing really well this game, and you know I don't want to keep harping on it, but the reason why it's so big of a deal that Warbeast isn't doing better is because of how they're sacrificing their Doctor. So not only are they sacrificing Doctor, but Warbeast isn't having hardly any impact outside of himself using Battlecry.
Yeah.
So as a Warbeast player myself, I would know that in this scenario you have to play a little bit greedier and make sure that you have a good time, because you're sacrificing your Doctor in order to do so, running this passive jungler.
Yeah, and the idea of going Battlecry, you know, maxing it out first like he did too, is, it seems like the only idea where that could work, maybe it's if you're going the aggressive trial and you happen to be going up against a defensive trial lane, like something like that, where to really give your side that edge. Yeah,
and as a jungler, you have to focus on how you progress in terms of your farming speed. And if you're going to put 1 point into your passive and keep your wolves level 1 for 7, 8 levels, you know, how fast are you really going to effectively be farming? Only when your battle cry is actually activated is when you're going to be clearing the camps at an efficient speed.
Yeah. Oh, middle lane. No, Kraken's going to be fine there. You see the Stealth Hunter running on through. Figure it's not going to happen. He's going to run right past a Rev Ward, though, so seen a couple of these now. So Kraken definitely knows he's nearby, but not really too worried for the time being, as he is going into the jungle further. See if he can find somebody over here. Will eventually, but clearly they are very aware of this. Warbeast, when he has the ulti for him, I guess, but he knew this was coming. And he's still going to go down. Very greedy decision to kind of stick around. Maybe that was the bait intention, as we see here the response. And so they are at least going to get a turn kill. Yeah, 4 players all of a sudden show up. So I guess from that perspective, it kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I mean, you're losing your Warbeast for a rally.
That's just fine if you're Druids. Although you're good, you're one of your better farmers is Rally, and you're losing him. You're shutting down you're making Warbeast have that much less of an impact. You're forcing 4 players to rotate. They use the energy field and okay, no, they didn't use the eruption. But the point being is that you're forcing a lot of heroes to get that return kill, and it's buying time for Scout, who has just picked up his cleaver. So his farm is going to snowball, and it's forcing all of that attention into the bottom lane, which means Scout can continue to do what he's doing up in the top lane and not feel threatened.
Yeah, this is what I was kind of getting at earlier. It feels like Scout, obviously he has that potential to be a really active carry, and you know, Immoboy, for example, Evo Core, we've seen many times with him where he is that very active Scout carry, constantly in the opposite jungle, you know, helping to farm kills and be aggressive that way. This is a very passive form of it, but it still can work, obviously. He has not left the top lane this whole game, and we're now nearly 17 minutes into the game. So, but at the same time, he's 450 gold per minute. He's got the Rune Cleaver. He's going to push this top tower in with his team, and now he's taking over the top farm in the game. So, yeah, he's still doing very well, but again, just an example of you can play it several different ways, and each can have their big impact. Magnus, he's using his farm to help counter
used Eruption. I don't know if you caught it on cam, but he used it top and it missed on the Scout. So that is why we saw Druids group up top and take that tier 1. And Meraxis also has his portal key picked up. just before that tower push. So a lot of the timings are coming together for Druids. Hexu does go down in the bottom lane. Magnus picks up an Alchemist Bones. He's farming very well. He's almost 500 gold per minute. So despite all of the negatives that we've been pointing out for the sake of reason, Magnus has been playing very, very well and using those Alch Bones that he just picked up immediately to get a kill onto Parasite, who I believe, yes, has Puzzle Box 2, almost closing in on Puzzle Box 3 as he's closing in on 400 gold per minute, but was slowed down just there.
Yeah, no, that was very well played to catch the Parasite. Again, using the out, it was almost like that portal key idea. You get a portal key like on a Pebbles, and you want to use it right away, get a kill. He got the Alchemist Bones literally within 20 seconds. He's using it to get a kill on a Parasite, and actually using it to get him out of the creep and set up the kill. So, yeah, very active. The play of Labyrinth has definitely been top-notch here, and he's the only reason, frankly, why Reason still has hope in this game right now, as they're getting at nearly 500 GPM even. But overall, the Spectrum looking that much better right now for Druids. Scout got the full Abyssal Skull now finished, so again, he's been going his pretty greedy build overall, but now he kind of has the core of his farm here, the Abyssal Skull, the Rune Cleaver, and those Steam Boots, so now it's going to be raw damage, I'm sure, just more damage focused even from here on out, and we've known, we've seen what a Scout can do when he's getting some very solid farm here. And on top of that, they got two very solid initiators with Rally and Moraxis, both having their portal keys, of course the puzzle blocks and Parasite as we've talked about. Level 3, not done just yet, has level 2 currently, but still, level 3 going to be on its way. Point being, Druids feeling a little bit better right now about the game and where we're at here. The recovery for Reason has constantly been the big thing, and I don't know, it just, neither Doctor or Warbeast just really cannot get farm. I don't know what it is. I mean, it's maybe, are they just not jungling efficiently? I mean, not doing triple stacks? I mean, the lane's just not going well? What is it, you think?
Well, the thing is I pointed out about Warbeast, but Rally and Parasite have been putting a lot of pressure on this bottom side of the map once Rally did pick up that portal key. So there's been constant fear from Warbeast and Doctor to even farm in this bottom lane. The past couple of times we've seen Warbeast enter the bottom lane, he's gotten comboed by both Parasite and Rally and just burst it down, and Engineer can't get there in time to stop the burst. So Warbeast has really slowed down, on top of how he's chosen to skill, which we pointed out. But Doctor has been in an unfavorable setup from the start, and he's going to go down here in the middle lane. Too much lockdown. But the failed gank attempts onto the Scout really, I don't want to say snowballed for Druids, but you know, Scout was already doing well, but then on top of that, not going down and getting kills onto, or the team getting kills onto the Doctor just is never going to be good.
No, it's not, and Scout, you know, finally getting involved there. Here in the middle lane, gets that kill as you saw, and now just clearing out the Legion jungle. There really is just not a lot, if anything, to farm right now, and the only one getting any kind of farm is the Magnus continuing to do so. Whether he's taking farm away from his teammates, I don't know if that's even necessarily happening. He's just a little more freedom to perhaps go further up and be a little more greedy with how he's going, but yeah, just one or the other, preferably both of them somehow, just need to somehow get that 300 plus going as far as gold per minute goes on Doctor and Warbeast, and to be feeling good. But as keeping this trend going, it's going to be all Druids, it really does feel like. And Kongor, being the Hellborn team, they wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so what I would like to see Druids do, they're sitting in a very comfortable spot. They've been setting up the ganks in all the right places. What I would like to see them do to further their lead is to buy a very greedy item on Scout, something like a shield breaker. And we have initiation.
Yeah, they found the Kraken at the Ibis with the puzzle box. Nice return, though. Big energy field placement, actually. Gets one dead already. Moraxis is falling. Rally was one picked off. There goes Moraxis. The energy field definitely doing work right there. Ends up being numbers favorite in favor of Reason Gaming. Now, Scout chasing, though. He's going to open on an Engineer here. Will it be enough damage? I don't think so. Yeah, no marksman shot, so he'll have to give up on that one. Well, that actually worked out fairly well for Reason, considering here.
Yeah, it was a good jump by them. So they were able to capitalize and get 2 kills. But what I wanted to say was I would like to see for Druids to further their lead is for them to get a greedy item on Scout, something like the Shield Breaker, and then look to take Kongor. And then from there, with the token, continue to pressure their map control and get the pickoffs with Scout being able to basically like two-shot heroes with the lockdown from both Meraxes and Rally. Because Parasite's in a really good spot. He's gonna have he has the puzzle box 3 at a very early time, and Scout is way ahead of both Doctor and Warbeast. They're both sitting at about 265 gold per minute, whereas Scout is above 500. So if he's able to get a token, he can go something very greedy like a Shield Breaker, but he's gonna go the very defensive route, which is Shrunken Head, and another team fight breaks out.
Yeah, I caught this one from the beginning, really. I mean, it was all Engineer that was getting caught there by Parasite, and all of a sudden, everyone else kind of responds from either side, and clearly the lockdown just that much more favorable for Druids, especially with Rally and Meraxes being there. They get 3 kills for the nothing. And, of course, when you're reason in a spot like this, you cannot be giving up trades like that. The lead will just get that extended that much further. Scout does not go the greedy build necessarily.
Yeah.
He goes a Shrunken here.
Yeah, he goes the very safe route. And this is an item he's going to need. Don't get me wrong. He does need the Shrunken Head by all means this game because of how much lockdown. Even playing against the support engineer, just being able to run freely in and out of the field and chase heroes down is needed. But I don't necessarily think that he'll be dying because of how well his supporting cast is doing. They have so much knockdown and so extra damage from the Parasite. You know, he now even has Soul's Bulwark picked up on top of the Puzzle Box 3. So there's just so much team support behind the Scout right now that I don't even honestly feel that he needs the Shrunken at this point. So that's why I really would have liked to have seen him go the greedier option in this scenario. It's not something I would always suggest, but because of how well of a spot they're in.
Oh, Warbeast.
Warbeast.
Jeez.
Gonna make it out just barely. Oh, the stun from Meraxes just barely misses.
Yeah.
And he might actually go down here.
They charge him back. That Matrix, though, it's not going to be enough. He will fall. His team kind of retreats from him. Can't blame them. He was pretty deep in there. Really went all in to try to kill that Warbeast. Only to come up short. So, again, nice little kill for Reason. If anything, just a confidence booster there. But, yeah, seeing the token now on Scout. Talked about the Shrunken already, which item that was going to need anyway, so at least has it now. But could definitely use that more damage focus here as the game will progress. Another big item that's going to be coming out is that Staff of the Master on Rally. Definitely a lot of potential from it.
Big. He will almost be able to solo kill the Warbeast. He will definitely be able to solo kill Doctor once he picks that up. If he does catch Doctor.
Wow, Doctor's squishy.
Yeah, and he is going for the Hellflower, so valuing the damage output rather than any form of survivability.
Yeah, under 1,000 life. I mean, I guess the Steam bits aren't strength yet. With strength, 1,100 life, but still pretty vulnerable target for sure. This has to be that way. And, you know, speaking of that, Kraken is somewhat similar too. You think he's quite a tanky hero, and he's not like squishy by any means, but
he has no build-up whatsoever.
Exactly.
Only has the bottle on top of Steam Boots, so it's really just his initiation and spells. Not going to really have any physical presence at all with the splashes. Well, I mean, there's the War Cry as well, but yeah, it's not very tanky. Point being.
Yeah, Scout's kind of not the best hero to maybe try to bait out with illusions. You figure he's going to be stealth most of the time, and he just kind of runs up right there like, oh, it's me, I promise. And it's not really. They did not bite on that. So, simply, well, scouting, if anything. 4,500 gold on Magnus, by the way. Probably going to see a Sheepstick.
It's going to have Sheepstick very early.
Proved to be big, of course. 2,400 on Scout. So again, curious to see what he really goes for as far as damage now. He's kind of kept the trend of both farm and more of a safe build here. This is going to be a top tower push. Know that much. Parasite once again, the Soul's Bulwark, similar to last game. Got that full demonic. There we go. It is going to be a shield breaker.
There's the shield breaker. Yeah, and I really just feel like it was in the wrong order because, I mean, he hasn't died yet. He hasn't needed to use the Shrunken yet. he could have potentially, you know, once he picked up this token, even looked to go for some solo pickoffs if he wanted to. But yeah, the team support from Rally and Parasite, even Moraxis, they've all had their core items very early, and they're gonna find the mine pile there with the mines. So although they did lose their puzzle box, it's okay because they don't lose anybody to the mine trap. But yeah, the thing is, I really feel like he could have been a little bit greedier here. But at this point, it's going to come out at around the same time, regardless.
Yeah, kind of like last game we were talking about the Salomon and the Mock. It's like,
yeah,
it worked in the end. Well, kind of, but 5,800 gold on Magnus. Still not getting that sheep stick as
marksman shot comes out just before the TP goes through.
Oh yeah,
so that level 3 marksman shot only has that low channel.
Yeah, what is it? It's like 1 second, right?
1.5 or something.
1.25.
Yeah, it's really short.
Just over a second.
And mini stuns.
Mini stun, yeah. Will stop the teleport. Goes through. It's superior magic, I believe, is what it's considered there. So, yep. And the causing the issue there on the Warbeast, getting the kill in the end as a result. There's the sheepstick purchase on Magnus. So sure enough, he does right-click it. Great to have here in this game, but Scout and his team going to be pushing bottom lane. Only 20 seconds remaining on the token, so it's not like the token's going to necessarily be a use right here. However, I don't know if that's going to deter them from pushing this, though. They're still going to go for it, actually. And token definitely going to be wearing off by the time a fight breaks out here. So,
yeah, really they don't want to push into Magnus, Kraken, Doctor, NG. Those heroes are so hard to siege base against. Doctor, you know, always the threat of having the buyback, being able to fly from well. Kraken, the charge back into tower, as well as just the team grouping up into a Magnus. It's so difficult. So there's really no reason to try to force base, especially when they have so much map control. Especially from Scout Eyes giving them vision, just things like this. They can look for pickoffs and look to siege high ground from there.
Yeah. All right, so Scout and Rally going to go back together, farm some Ancients here in the meantime. Level 3 Showbreaker is finished on Scout. 13,100 gold saved up there. Definitely has at least one more inventory spot.
Staff, did we mention was finished on Rally?
No. So he's got that now.
Does have the tablet as well. I didn't notice when he picked that up, but he does have a very strong trio of items as well.
Yeah.
And Moraxis even goes for the post haste, so really valuing his mobility. I really would like to see them look for these pickoffs. Reason is kind of sticking pretty close together, but a lot of their team game plan revolves around pickoffs with the Parasite, the Rally, and even the Scout trying to look for those. They're gonna maybe find Warbeast in middle. Yeah, he's getting a person down.
No chance.
So just as I was talking about, that's what I really like to see from Druids' side, because they have so much control, and to really let Reason kind of take space back, it would be a mistake.
Yeah, you know, I was going to say that's just great rune control and not much Warbeast can do, but to be honest, when you're going up against a core carry and Scout who's constantly stealthing and invis around places, arguably, you know, he should have been maybe a little bit more aware there that something was perhaps going to happen, kind of pushing by himself in the middle lane, but at the same time, maybe you got to take some risks, and felt like that and just gets caught. Eruption, it's not going to be that good, though, unfortunately. They kind of saw that coming a mile away. Feels like Magnus will go down immediately in response. And the push continues. Nice charge from Kraken. Good release of Kraken, but he just melts. As Sina Scouts puts a couple of auto attacks in him. At least will kill Parasite, but they're definitely going to be losing the racks right here. At least the melee racks. Nice one from Magnus. Good timing on his part. Rally caught in the background. Little mana. Rax is still alive, actually. Aluna will sure enough finish it. The sacrifice herself to do so, but at least guaranteeing the Rax kill right there. It's, oof, more Axis ports out in time. So, yeah, the Rax actually almost survived. If it wasn't for Aluna suiciding, basically.
Yeah, two buybacks. Magnus and Kraken. Doctor didn't have one, so they kind of needed to suicide themselves in order to attempt holding the Rax. In the end, didn't prevail. So they use the buybacks and lose the Rax Druids. really just in control here, and it's a really steep uphill battle for Reason Gaming.
You see Scout almost looking for a solo kill potential, which we definitely know he can do. Something he can't do anymore is pick off couriers, and that's for good or not. You won't have to worry about that at least, but he is going to...
Your courier has been slain. Your courier has been slain.
That's so annoying. Magnets. Oh, he had a silence first.
Shots.
He didn't have a silence ready.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Maybe ulti. No, it's not going to matter. He'll get out. Yeah, if he had a silence there, 100% a dead Magnus, but did not. So good reaction from Labyrinth there. As Moraxis is still chasing. Wow, nice attempt. Almost caught Warbeast. Barely just out of range, though. But Warbeast, that ulti form, once again, going to be down now. Is Congo back up, by the way? No, he's not up just yet. Probably up in the next minute or so. I feel like it's been just about that time here. So, I'm sure we're going to see Druids maybe wait out long enough for that. Get another big item on Scout, which is definitely coming. 4,000 gold saved up. They just finished a Demonic on Parasite. Obviously a fantastic item to have there. Yeah, it seems like it's just all kind of routine at this point for Druids as far as how they're progressing here and what they're going to do next.
Buddy chat, best chat.
Yeah.
Sorry, off topic. Yeah, so what does Scout go for here with his bank? Something like a Wingbow could be just fine, even though there's really no physical presence. I still think the Wingbow would be just fine. He could go something like a Brutalizer, although it is very small, and he probably wants something bigger and more threatening. He actually finds the Mind Pile there with the eye. So Engineer not as sneaky as he wants to be, unfortunately.
Oh, ulti? Is that a kill? It is. Warby's dead. Yep. I love the skid. Just for that reason alone. Just snipes.
Rally?
That's no the scout.
Oh, the scout.
It just when you snipe somebody as they're trying to run away like that, it actually kills them. It's just how the laughter comes out and.
I thought you were talking about Rally when he goes, "You're dead."
Oh, that's annoying as hell. Yeah.
Oh, you don't like that?
Constantly does that. I mean, it's pretty cool at the same time, but
yeah.
I hate when people spam it.
So Scout, what did he spend 2,000 on something?
He did. I didn't notice actually. Maybe posted.
What did he spend his gold on? I wish I could check stash. Or couriers, yeah, that too.
It might be post haste. That would kind of make sense, I guess.
Yeah, but why? Why would he want post haste instead of? I guess he doesn't have the slot available for the big item that he wants, but.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Why would post haste when you're sieging base be better than steam boots? Is my thought process. They already have enough. Well, I don't really think. The point is, I don't think they're going to be needing to TP to defend anything.
Yeah.
Because if Reason doesn't defend where Druids is, then they lose, basically. So I don't think post haste does really anything here.
So it's just the timing is a little off, yeah. Getting at, but
yeah, it's just why would he not want to finish out his last big slot? Eruption gonna go out in the background.
Nice! They get 2 off the bat. Parasite and Rally are dead just like that. Sheepstick on a Scout in the meantime. He does have the token, remember. Can he get some damage off? Finally starting to put his auto attacks. He's gonna finish Doctor here. No, the Story Spirit. Well played right there. Perfect timing indeed. Warby's now sitting on top of Scout. Scout having to run. Magnus tuns through though. Scout, he probably is going to fall here. Nope, more access turn. Look at the turn from Scout. Wow. Again, he gets the auto attacks off, and all of a sudden they just melt away. Rally comes back in with a buyback, and he tells Warbeast he's dead. He did not come up short right there. Down goes Warbeast. He buyback? No, Warbeast sustained death. Scout was killed with the token. He comes right back up though, of course. I think this is going to be a final push of sorts. Dr. Repulsor doing everything that he can. Was that a double buyback? Yes, it was. No, it's only a single
one on him.
But Scout finishes off Magnus before going down, actually. So the buyback on Cyrox there. And that Doctor does kind of pay off.
Buyback
Look at this.
Scout, he's post-hasting in. So now we're seeing post-haste, actually.
Oh, it's not up for the kill. But it is going to be a kill.
Doesn't have portal keep for 4 seconds. I think he's dead.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice catch. He doesn't have lockdown. No.
Oh, the Magnus. I mean,
great juke. Great juke there from Doctor.
I still get it, though.
It doesn't matter, though. Annihilation comes out. The oh. All right. Yeah, they're constantly porting in, man. Even Moraxis is back with the buyback. They're kind of having fun with it now. Druids is very confident that they're in a great spot. Engineers like Void Talisman, and Scout's like Mark the shot.
He had stun that entire time, but he let Scout take the kill.
Okay. Getting more of an annihilation. Yeah, he's 10.
If I was playing Moraxis, hell no.
You'd
But
take that, yeah.
yeah. What a team player.
I guess so. Yeah, Druids is well on their way here to going 2-0. Scout is going to die. Well, they did all that chasing and kind of trolling a little bit. They didn't actually kill the rack, so there is that at least. As once again, more will die. I mean, we do see the buyback situation on recent. Granted, we also had last game that ended how it did, so. But this is definitely a little different.
Are we going to see the Legion comeback, Breaky,
No.
like last game?
No, we're not at
3
all.
players, 3 cores, all cores, no buybacks.
Kind of a big difference.
Will there be a double damage Warbeast or Doctor that wipes the fight?
No, Inkling just left. That means the game's over.
I think she rage quit. Timeout.
She pulled her plug.
Inkling pulled
Done
the
with
cord.
this. Done watching this game. No, it's obviously the biggest difference is the 2 sets of racks being down, unlike the previous.
That is
game,
true.
so.
There was no racks last game.
No, not to ruin the chance of a comeback here, but probably not gonna see one. But
It's only 20k gold and 13k XP Breaky. It can still happen.
it could. You know what? It definitely could.
Doctor has a Hellflower and a Shrunken. So he has survivability and damage. Although when he is silenced by Scout, he can't really do too much. And the Rally Slam can still give him the blast.
Yeah, see, Void Talisman is actually, speaking of silence and stuff, so this still hasn't even really been figured out, I don't think. I think I've talked with behind the scenes about it, but I don't know if, I think it's considered a bug right now to where ideally it's going to get fixed, but, so Void Talisman, you could still get silenced despite having Void Talisman up, and technically you shouldn't be able to, because silence is supposed to be a physical silence, I believe.
Oh, from Scout specifically?
From Scout, yeah. From Scout silence. Yeah, it's physical. That's why it goes through Shrunken Heads and everything.
Right.
However, it does go through Void Talisman when Void Talisman says it should be physical immunity. So that's interesting that, yeah. So I think that's considered a bug. Either that or it's actually considered superior magic, I guess. But I don't know.
Oh, they find Magnus. Oh, he doesn't go down just yet.
Moraxis, tanky as usual. They're going to leave him, though.
Doctor is not done.
No, he is.
Okay, he is done. Just kidding.
Realize he was out of
And Moraxis buys back. But, well, I mean, it was released to Kraken use, so... there's no slam and no matrix, but no release to Kraken.
Oh, Scout's gonna know they stopped the eruption. Look
Yeah, that was probably their one way of maybe winning this team fight.
Yeah, kill Scout. Maybe something like he's trying to bait them into the mines. Moraxis is just gonna go into it. He'll live though. He's a little too tanky. The mine trap unsuccessful.
All right, we didn't
annihilation.
see any successful mind traps this game. I'm disappointed.
Yeah, he tried.
Was that the second annihilation? He got another one.
It was. Yeah.
Yep.
Impressive stuff there.
The double annihilation from Scout.
Best
And he
player.
did go the wing bow. Yay, wing bow.
And he did. So Druids, though, they do take it 2-0, obviously. And that means that they are now absolutely... Yeah, they're going to be guaranteed because that puts them at 11 points. And I think mathematically now they are, no matter what, should be good for top 6. They still have one more match to play as well. On top of that, I'm not sure who just yet. But, yeah, they have 11 points. So they're actually in 3rd place right now. They do pass BMG with that victory right there. So congrats to them. So that's got to be cool feeling, knowing that you're moving on and the brackets to look forward to now if you're them.